Last cycle, we always preached about targeting to audiences and making that the centerpiece of your media buy. But really only the biggest campaigns, so your presidentials or your large Senate campaigns kind of got that. Now everybody gets that. So now you can buy an audience targeted plan for anybody at any level. So again, it's kind of put the power back into targeting one-to-one. And with CTV and OLV, now you have great media to present to clients. Last cycle, and maybe the previous cycle, it was social media, with Facebook, it was Twitter, even Google. But then with the privacy and they started making changes to how you could target within Google, it's now also shifted all that energy over to the audience targeting side. So that's another reason why you've seen all this growth in CTV.
What is audience targeting like, and what are the data sets that make it up? Usually,
it's funny, every campaign, the higher up you go, president, Senate, congressional race, and then below, the higher up you go, the more complicated those audiences are. And so you can have, say at a Senate race, I might have 15 audiences. And these audiences they're not just plain voter files where they're cutting it based on geo or cutting it based on zip codes or age. They'll employ modeling and survey data and build models of people likely to vote or definitely voting, and then that means now you can shift your media around. If you know somebody's gonna vote for you, really at that point you're trying to just make sure they turn out, and maybe you're not spending television advertising on them. At that point, maybe you could just run them through Facebook and just remind them to vote. But if somebody's leaning your way or is completely undecided, now you know that you need to shift your dollars over to them.
What about addressable TV? What is the opportunity there to use that data to actually push advertising?
It's funny because a lot of campaigns that we deal with, they want to start, especially like I said, the larger campaigns, they want to start with their own data set. They want to start with the folks that they've modeled. And so you prioritize them first. Publishers that have their own data and it's addressable, you can also supplement what they have to what you're using. And I do that quite often, where we'll start with the data set directly from the campaign and supplement it with data that publishers have. Addressable TV, I mean, that's the best of both worlds, because you're getting the TV content and you're hitting the people that you want to talk to. So it's very powerful.
Tell us what's happening in terms of spend and how that's rolling out from this year and up to the election, and sort of how you see that, how you see the market developing.
I know, and a lot of people think that the rise in political CTV is coming directly out of linear. I still see till this day, because remember we're on the center right, I still see to this day the campaigns are still prioritizing linear more so than you would think, but you're still getting a much larger budget. So I don't think a lot of it's coming from the linear buyer. I think it's coming that there's more budget being sent to digital, and therefore the whole pie of advertising is growing, and therefore CTV is growing with it. It also helps that it's addressable, and so that means that we can shift more dollars. The one place that I think budgets are probably getting smaller is on the social media side. I mean, still people are promoting posts and they still want to target people, but this idea that they're providing a lot of persuasion benefit on a small screen that people are scrolling by, they seem to be getting less of the pie than they had previously. And I think a lot of the dollars that you're seeing from the growth on the CTV side are coming from the social side.
And question about ROI and performance, and of course performance is on election day, but how do you know what works and where you've made the right investment, or how does that work?
It's a great question. So there's two pieces of it. So the bigger campaigns are always running polling data. And when they start to see name ID going up and intent to vote going up overall, and they know that they're running linear and they're running digital, again, that's a win for everybody. So that's being measured. Specific on the digital side, I mean, you have your regular metrics on the fundraising, so you can see how many people are donating, and you can see the results of that in real time. And on the persuasion side, if the campaign's large enough, we're running research studies, brand lift studies right within them, so we could see how our ads are doing, and that helps us inform, well, maybe with women we need to focus more of our ad budget. And the other thing that we always look at is we're looking at reach and frequency and the cost to reach those people. So that's how we know which one of those are our most effective channels, and then that's how you move the dollars around. And when it's a very large campaign and you have multiple audiences, now you can actually see I've reached X% of this audience with Y amount of frequency, and so therefore you're doing well. Layering on top of that is going to be the individual brand lift studies, and then at a higher level is the polling data. If the polling data overall is showing intent to vote going down or name ID going in the wrong direction or positive or negative, then you have a major problem where you got to start shifting your dollars around.
And there's a big opportunity around creative, where it used to be just a couple of different spots. Now you have so many different screens. How do you keep up with the creative needs?
You have to have a large team of creative folks, and it's really an interesting dynamic because first, if you're building them for TV or CTV, the good thing is, for the most part, if you build for the toughest spec, you're good on everything else. When it comes to different positions, like you want to have an ad on Instagram versus Facebook, now you're cutting the ads differently. I mean, it's a heavy lift, and then when you're flipping them out every week, it's a major problem. But what you usually start with is you're starting with CTV, and then what we usually go into the OLV side, and if you're building ads for CTV, they'll work on OLV, and so that's how you handle it. But the larger campaigns with multiple audiences, with multiple creatives, to be blunt, it's a huge lift.